such sights to show you.
You are all going to die tonight.
This is bad comedy.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back once again. It is that time. Hun Ya Geek show. With me, as usual, she's the Wednesday night delight. She's always talking shite. Here it is, Miss Cali Barker.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another blood-curdling body horror episode of Hun Ya Geek showing.
To right and all. Woo, the blood and the boo. But anyway, yes. So, how have we been? We've been on a little break. We'll be back there, folks.
Yes, we decided to extend the episode run, but take a break in the middle.
Yes, we did.
If Quantum Leap can take a break in the middle and keep people guessing,
Don't.
we can do the same.
Don't. It's still so subject. Don't start me off.
I'm sorry. I do apologize. I will leave the Quantum Leap jokes alone. But yes, we took a short break and now we're back.
We did. Did you have fun?
Yes, actually. I got caught up on some things I've been meaning to watch, stuff that I'd put onto my watch list quite some time ago. And I figured, well, they're going to be a one and done, so I might as well get them done and off of the list so I can move on to things and focus more on things like a certain Winchester Brothers program.
Yes.
I need to definitely focus on that one, but we'll get to that in a little while.
Yeah.
How have you been then, honey? How have you been time off?
I've been a busy boy. I've been doing lots of music stuff again, lots of freelance gigs. You know, casual drinking as it can allow, you know. Gardening, forced gardening, I may add. Forced fucking labour.
Oh, well, you know, if Sunak has his way, we'll all be doing that.
Well, that's true. No, not me, I'm too old, sorry. I've got flat feet and all.
I need to age quicker.
I've got flat feet.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be called up anyway.
I've got asthma and
there you go.
a lot of other problems. So
but aside from that, let's forget all our problems. And let's get on with the show. It's time for the shout outs.
It is time for the shout out.
I just said that.
The insert.
You
You seem to forget how things work around here, don't you?
I know exactly how things around here work.
Yeah, you show up, talk shite, and then bugger off, as you said to Tony the other day.
True, isn't it?
I don't worry about all of that editing guff. Oh no, I just swan the fuck off and leave Cali to deal with all that bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you know the deal.
And you know what? I kind of like it that way.
There you go. Then, I mean, I can start having a hand in the editing if you wish. I can give you notes.
Notes would be fine. You know, highlights, maybe things to throw in. That I'd be happy with that. You know, little inserts and warnings.
I can come over there and join you in the editing bay. I don't mind.
Feel free. There's an open sofa. But right, actually, on to the comments now.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, folks. It's been a while since we done this. Bullshit.
These comments are from a little over a month ago because that was when we last recorded an episode of this. So here we go. It is, of course, up first, the man, the myth, the beard, Ginger Ninja, JK, Mr. JK47, my little Australian buddy.
Oh, that beard is resplendent.
He says, enjoy your time off. Great vid and awesome pics. Just a quick comment. Moving on to the next comment, also from Mr. JK. And now for the long comment. Awesome pics, and I watched all of them except that last one with the timey-wimey stuff. And I enjoyed all of them. This is Marvel cartoons we were talking about.
Yeah, which is the one with the timey-wimey stuff?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Although I never finished any of them due to
JK, I've been
Aussie,
drunk since then. Been drunk since then.
due to Aussie TV being what it is. Bracket,
Oh,
it sucked.
right.
X-Men, TAS, and Spider-Man were always my faves. Yes, yes, yes. And if you have watched the final episodes of X-Men 97, you will know that the supposed rumors, as I kind of sort of predicted, it does look like there is going to be a continuation of the Spider-Man cartoon due to Spidey making a cameo. Spoilers for those.
I don't think you can sort of say, oh, you made a cameo. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Well, no, this is what I'm saying, because he was in costume as a cameo, and then it was Peter and Mary Jane, their original style from that cartoon, stood watching that news report. Now, that to me is foreshadowing. That's, Spidey is coming back, and we're going to see how he got Mary Jane back, which I kind of predicted when we talked about this weeks ago. I was like, I kind of think that's where it's going to go. Like, there's going to be a Spider-Man cartoon that comes out alongside this to kind of connect the dots.
Well, if John Semper Jr. is not in charge of it, then I'm not sure I'm going to watch it.
Thank you. Thank you. You watch, they'll rejig his model to look a bit more like Tom Holland, like they did with the game. Why I won't buy the Game of the Year edition of Spider-Man, because in the Game of the Year edition, they changed his face model to look more like Tom Holland. Apparently, though, the studio said, "Oh no, we did it to make it look like more like the voice actor." I've seen pictures.
Bollocks.
I've seen pictures of Yuri Lowenthal. He looks fuck all like the face model you made. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Don't give us frog spawn and tell us it's caviar. We ain't buying
Sorry,
it.
that's my computer.
And if it hasn't got Christopher Daniel Barnes and Sarah Ballantyne in the voices, I also will not watch.
Oh, I might watch the first episode just to see how crap it is. I'll be one of those reviewers for it.
Mm.
I watched it because I knew it was going to bomb.
It's just watching the screen go, go on then, impress me. Go on. Bring it, bitch.
And if they don't do a rejigged version of that original Spider-Man theme by Aerosmith, might I point out?
It's not by Aerosmith.
Is it not? There was a version.
No. Joe Perry is playing lead guitar on it. Yes, but it's not.
Sorry,
actually
that was it. Sorry, But yeah, if they don't do a rejigged version of that theme tune, like they did with X-Men. Spider-Man.
Right, that's enough copyright.
Yeah. Right, on to the next comment. It is the man from X, Mr. Invincigaz, with, wow, who's the new kid on the block? And hey up, guy, the boss is in. Look busy.
In it, hard to pawn.
Yeah. No, share it.
All right.
I've got a wide range of tastes, trust me.
Okay, I'll get the adjudicator, flash your tits out.
For the next recast segment,
I got you.
Try Silence of the Lambs if it was a comedy. Come on then, guys. Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, okay.
Come on then. Who'd play who? Who'd play who?
We've got to have Chevy Chase as old Hannibal there. Well, I think that'd be just fucking mint. And let's see.
Goldie Hawn as
Goldie Hawn, yes.
Goldie Starling. As Starling.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of a name. It's like, oh shit. So you got me there, yeah. Simpatico. Boom.
Just for pure shits and giggles, Ricky Gervais can play Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Real life's interrupted. What's okay? Oh, sorry. Oh, I've just found out my cat's been attacked by 2 dogs. So...
Want me to pause?
Yeah.
We do apologise for the slight interruption there, folks.
Sorry, real life just interrupted. So
yes.
Now back to the silly world of us.
Yes, recasting Silence of the Lambs as a comedy.
Yes, so we've got Chevy Chase, we've got Goldie Hawn.
We've got Ricky Gervais as Buffalo Bill.
No, I was going to, oh, shit, was it Leslie Nielsen?
I just think it'd be fucking ironic if it was.
No. Oh, shit. What's Starling's boss called? Shit.
Been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah. No, I forgot his name. I can't remember the name of the character, but it'd be Leslie Nielsen's Star Wars boss.
Yeah, I actually, I can see that. Or as the head shrink.
Mm. Yeah. Chilton. There you go. Oh shit. I can't remember. That is gonna bug the hell out of me.
This is what I said this a while ago when I was trying to think of Norman Reedus from Walking Dead. The more I thought about it, the further away that went.
Yep.
Went. The minute we started talking about something else, boom, it fucking hit me. So
What's the name of the character of Will Graham's boss in Silence of the Lambs? Or Hannibal series?
Yeah. I can see his face.
Yeah. No.
Hold on, give me a minute.
The Adjudicator Will.
it has stumped everybody. Right, moving on then.
Sorry, guys. That kind of derailed.
Yeah, we did the best we could with that one. Right. I think my favorite part of the show this week was Guy coming to the realization that he's the only person who likes Star Trek Discovery. And to commemorate this occasion, I have made something special for you.
Oh, and you did. Brilliant.
I may have to include it in the episode.
Yeah,
I may have to put it at the beginning and then explain why that's there at this point.
Yeah. Hats off. Hats off, guys. That was fantastic, mate.
It cracked me up. As soon as I watched it, I was like, I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's funny. Speaking on topic, please go and check out the 2010 Avengers show, Earth's Mightiest Hero, especially episode 3 to see the very special cameos. I'll let you report back. I have actually seen that.
Oh, I saw that. That was going to be one of my honorable mentions, and we forgot to do honorable mentions.
We did. Well, to be fair, we went on for over an hour with that.
Yeah.
And
news. Sorry, I've got to interrupt. News just in from the Adjudicator herself. The name of the character is Jack Crawford. The starring
there we go. Yes, Crawford. That was it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
But, the Adjudicator there, folks.
Yeah, I did actually watch that show as it was coming out when it first originally aired on Disney XD, I think it was, or DX or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched it on there, and for me, I was hooked with that theme tune. I still listen to that theme tune now because, yeah, okay, it's the stereotypical 2010s. It's got a nice, good rocky riff to it, but the lyrics, if you watch the original opening, the lyrics match each of the characters, and it's very kind of, it sets the tone very, very well that this is going to be not just superheroes beating the crap out of each other. It's going to be much like the original X-Men and Spider-Man cartoons were, telling adult stories to children.
Yeah.
You know, putting it in a way that they could understand at that age, like X-Men did for us back then. So I do really love that show. I think we may have to cover that one in a future episode at some point because I need to give it. It's on Disney Plus, so I may have to give it a full rewatch because I only got about I think halfway through season 1.
Oh, it gets better.
I know. I did see it kept getting better, but then Skybox buggered up and all the episodes I had recorded disappeared. So, and by then trying to jump back in, I was like, why are the Skrull here?
Yeah.
I was lost. So I will go back and give it a watch, and we will cover that in a future episode. So there you go, guys. Thank you. You've inspired a future episode.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Right, moving on from up to episode 10. Your faces when I was late to comment. Have a good time off. See you both when you're back. That was from Sue. My lovely girl. Thank you, Sue.
Whoa.
Here we go.
Whoa. All right.
It gets a copyright strike one of these days.
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm
gonna have to write my own love theme for you.
We have a late comment from Tony. He was a week late in commenting. Naughty Mr. Pertwee.
Sounds about right for it.
Yeah, true.
He listens to us when he cleans toilets.
I know. Well, he's got shit in his ears and he's got shit in his face.
Whoa! Like, Tony, you listen to this. It's a video. It's a visual podcast. You'll not get half the shit.
Well, not as much as down the toilet, but Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, folks. Bit late to the party as usual. I'll be listening to this tomorrow while cleaning at work. Just as we said.
Okay.
So I'll be commenting over the weekend.
Oh my God, Cali.
Also...
He's Crichton. He's our Crichton.
He is.
He's our Crichton.
He's our Crichton. Calico Crichton. It's Tony. I'm leaving that in. I'm also sure you're going to give me plenty to talk about on my next Saturday movie and TV zone. Yes, we did. Which, like I said, this comment is out of date by now, but yes, you did. We thank you for that over on your video. I think there's one more. No, that's it for Hun Ya Geek is showing comments. There we go.
Comment mode disabled.
There we go. Right, now we can get on with the episode proper.
Well, we can. We got to ask that question.
Wait. We've been watching, mate.
Oh, bitch. Who's hosting tonight? Me and you. Fuck.
I nearly forgot.
I was just about to ask a question. Little bit fucking thunder stealer.
I'm tall. Well, only when I sit down.
Hey, guys, you want a job?
Wait.
Slide in my DMs.
That's not all he's going to slide into, I'm sure.
Well, is that
right? Yeah. Okay then. Okay then. You do the whole running. Go on then.
So, folks, from the time of cave paintings right back to today, people have been asking that same question. What you been watching, mate?
Well, just recently, as in this afternoon, I have been watching a wonderful little show over on Prime, and it is RoboDoc, the story of RoboCop.
Oh, okay.
And it's a full series. It's not a one-off documentary. It is a full series.
Pardon me. Sorry.
It is a full series, and it is literally RoboCop dissected scene for scene with interviews with everyone from cast and crew to extras to people who were literally in like one scene in the background. It's so in depth. And I'm actually finding out now trivia that I didn't know about RoboCop. It was stuff that I'd like just little things that were happening off, behind scenes and offset, and where they came up with like things for the character. And I was like, this is really, really good. And I'm 3 episodes in already. Each episode's over an hour.
Oh, cool. I'll check that out.
It's on Prime, RoboDoc, the story of RoboCop. And it's literally from conception right the way through. And like I said, I'm only 3 episodes in. And I've loved every episode because you know me, big practical effects fan. It shows you bit by bit how they did, like putting the gun together, how the gun came about. That they spend a half an hour on the gun, like
cool.
All the different design elements. Like, oh, we want it to do this, right? Well, then we need to add this to it, and it was just like. So yeah, I highly recommend that.
Oh, cool.
I've also been watching Supernatural.
Nice. Where are you up to?
I'm on the back end of season 6 right now. I mean, like last 2 or 3 episodes.
Really? Where are we up to the series?
You finished.
We're on series 10.
Yeah, so I got some catching up to do, but I've had a lot on, as you know. So
yeah. Fair.
But other than that, I watched the finale of X-Men 97.
Yes, so did I.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I fucking cried.
Oh.
And on the very final moments, at 2 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I was watching it because I couldn't sleep.
Mm.
It was the day it had come out, but it was like going into Thursday. So I was like, I can't sleep. I'm going to watch this episode and then get to bed. No. That white text that popped up on the screen, I actually screamed, not incredibly loud, but loud enough at 2 o'clock in the morning, you fucking bastards. As because there is nothing worse than waiting for a season for the better part of 3 years for it to end on to be fucking continued. It's not just a kick in the crotch, it's a kick in the face, the neck, the back, the ass,
Tits.
Yeah, you're getting kicked all over when you do that to us, but
Knees.
at the same time,
Yeah,
fucking clever, because we're going to come back for season 2.
of course we are. Yeah.
I mean, that was a no-brainer, but that has just cemented it. Like, I need to know how this ends. I need to know what the fuck is going on. Like,
well, I've got a lot of House of M vibes from it, from the whole series.
I can see that.
Especially with Magneto's uniform for most of it.
Yeah. He did go
very
back.
House of M.
I honestly think because of all the stuff in the future with Cable and whatnot, this is Cali's predictions. I might make this its own little segment. Cali's predictions. I honestly think that the fact that they've gone back in time to see Apocalypse when he was younger, before he becomes Apocalypse.
Well, I don't think, but that's they've been randomly thrown. It's just.
But has it been random though?
Yeah, I suppose.
Because this is just my, like I said, this is just my take on it. I honestly think they're going to do Age of Apocalypse because they've gone back to before he became Apocalypse. Some of them have been sent forward to after he's become Apocalypse. So I've got a funny feeling that it's going to do its own interpretation of the Age of Apocalypse storyline. That's just my personal take because, as we pointed out, there's a lot of stuff from the comics that they brought into this, but it's not direct adaptation. Wolverine, the bit with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in the comics, but it didn't happen in the show like it did in the comics. It was different circumstances, but it happened. So my prediction is season 2 is going to lead into a third season, and that's going to be Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, I may be wrong, I may be right, but I was pretty damn right with how the series was going to go and that Apocalypse was going to show back up at some point, and he fucking did. So,
Fair play.
What have you been watching, Guy?
Well, I've been watching, let's see, Supernatural. The journey continues.
The epic slog.
Yeah, we'll probably get to this episode in like series 12.
By the time we've both finished it, yeah.
But I've been watching that.
Of Hun Ya Geek is showing.
Yeah. I've been watching a little show called Doctor Who.
Tony's dad. As our song number for this week's episode.
Yeah. What do I say about there's been some good. There's been some, but you always get a bit of that. I don't know. I think this series is leading somewhere, but it's taking a while.
It's getting there, yeah.
Yeah, I think Russell T's got something in store, but
he's got something up that sleeve of his.
Yeah, and he usually does. Bless him.
Yeah,
it's not like he's a shit writer, because he's not.
I forgot to turn my light off. I do apologize.
No, turn your light off. There you go. Take your light off. So yeah, I've been watching that. I guess what I saw I've not seen this for ages. Right, a film I saw on Prime. You listening?
Yes, I'm just adjusting the setup. Sorry.
Fucking Jesus.
I am listening.
So folks, I'll talk to you instead of bollocks.
Go on.
Look, no, I can't see it.
Get on with it.
Yeah, so I watched Hackers yesterday.
Hackers,
Yeah, have you ever seen that?
the film.
Yeah.
Yes, with Angelina
Angelina
Jolie.
Jolie and Johnny Lee Miller. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it was on there and I'd not seen that for years. I'm just like, oh,
I've not
that.
seen that. Do you know what? Actually, tangent time, people. I do remember I had this friend many years ago by the name of Ant, and he was obsessed with that film to the point where he had the same haircut as the lead character.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, but that was how I got introduced to that film because, again, this person did actually introduce me to quite a lot of things. This was the same person who introduced me to a lot of different genres of music with
Smack.
the mind. Pardon?
Coke, Smack, PCP. No.
No. He introduced me to a lot of bands that I might not necessarily have listened to because I was a full-on goth rocker wearing Craig LaFell t-shirts and everything back then. But it was because of this person that my music taste broadened because they were like, look, the same energy goes into every music. And if you listen to the lyrics, you can connect with those and you'll enjoy the song, even if it's not particularly a genre you'd like or that you normally listen to. It just takes that one song and you can go, I get what they're saying in that. And that's my outlook that's been my outlook with music ever since then, is that it doesn't matter if it's an R&B singer, a death metal singer, a pop. If I connect with the lyrics, I like the song.
Fair enough.
So,
okay.
Continue.
So yeah, watch that. I am halfway through watching The Flash.
The film or the TV
Yes.
series?
No, the film.
Because there is the TV series on the CW as well. I actually watched that. The first few seasons were actually pretty damn good.
No, okay, but no, you know why I'm watching it, don't you? Why am I watching it? Go on, why am I watching it? It's exactly why I'm watching it because Keaton's there, and I want to see Keaton.
I do feel though, when all this Flash was getting made and everything, the fact that he was cast as Batman, a lot of fans did sort of ruminate and go, "Oh, could this be something?" A lot of people thought they were possibly leading into a Batman Beyond movie, live action movie, and because it was around the time that Pattinson got cast as Batman. So it was like he was cast as Batman, Keaton's coming back as Batman. It was like, hold on a minute, are they gonna do what we think they're gonna do? And it didn't pan out. But I would like to see a live action Batman Beyond with Keaton playing the old man Bruce Wayne, much like how Kevin Conroy reprised his role as Batman in the cartoon as the older Batman, the older Bruce Wayne. I'd love to see that because he's at that kind of age now where he wouldn't need much heavy makeup to actually, make him look older.
That or do a live action version of Dark Knight.
Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller story.
Yeah.
He
could do that.
Oh, yeah, because then we could get a redo on the Batman versus Superman fight.
Yeah.
We need a fucking redo on that.
We fucking do.
Zach, dude, whoever is out there is in charge of it right now. Who's in charge of DC right now? Is it? What's his name?
I don't know. We know they'll listen to us though, because shit has happened where we got fucking listening to
Yeah, they are. They are. The guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy. What was his name?
Oh shit! Yeah, Gunn. James Gunn.
James Gunn. Yeah, he's in charge of DC at the minute, right? Mr. Gunn. I know you probably don't watch this at all, but if your marketing guys are searching the internet, you come across this, please take this under advisement. Bring Keaton back. Do the Dark Knight Returns. You can fix the DCEU just by redoing the Batman versus Superman fight. Do it properly.
Yeah.
Just pushing it out there. I know rumors are you are pushing for a black Superman, which go for it. I'm all for that. I said in a comment on Facebook today, Tony actually, because he mentioned it in his video. And I said, to be fair, it's been in the comic books, so why not? Why not live action? if we're doing the multiverse load of bollocks, there's been a black Superman in the comic books several times.
Yep.
So
And they keep rumoring Michael B. Jordan for it. Yeah, cool. He's a good actor.
yeah, he is a good actor.
So fucking cool with me.
He is a good actor, but I was very fortunate enough to see him in the say fortunate to see him in the remake of Day of the Dead. It was one of his early films, and you can tell he's a very early actor in that. Like, it's almost like you can see he's a good actor, but he ain't polished at that point. And then you see him in like the Creed films and the clips I've seen of Creed. Yeah, he's a fucking good actor.
Yeah.
So if he's going to be,
if they did that, he'd be the first actor to be in DCEU and the Marvel EU and the MCU.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was going to say
He was in Black
Affleck,
Panther.
but Daredevil isn't part of the MCU anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless they're going to do that as a multiverse thing and pay Affleck a shit ton to put that red bondage suit on again. Although, speaking of that old Daredevil movie, we've gone way off topic here tonight.
We have.
But speaking of that old Affleck Daredevil movie, I will say the theatrical cut is bollocks. It's a smear on Hollywood. But the director's cut that's got an additional half an hour of footage restored to it, which includes a subplot involving Coolio. Yeah.
Well, like Gangster's Paradise thing.
Yeah. He plays he plays a suspected killer, but it turns out it's not. It's all connected to Wilson Fisk. You know, his little henchman that helped him, the skinny dude.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, he killed someone, and Coolio was getting framed for it. And that's how Daredevil puts the pieces together to go after Fisk. So the director's cut is a much, much better version of the film. Okay, it's still got the campy stuff. It's still got that weird smirk thing he does in the park when he's fighting Elektra on the seesaws. It's still got all that bullshit in it, but it's paced a lot better. So if you can track down the director's cut on DVD, I mean, I had it at one point. I paid like 50p for it.
Yeah, nice.
So you know what I mean? It's like if you can track it down for cheap, I highly recommend going back and checking out the director's cut because it's a bit like X-Men Days of Future Past, the Rogue cut. It makes the film make a bit more sense, but it's still not a great film.
Yeah.
So there you go. But, right. Cool. So then, we done?
Yeah, it's time to get to the meat of the episode. We're going to talk about a writer tonight of horror.
Well, he's a writer. He's an artist, painter as well, like
he's an
artist like that.
He's very much the auteur.
And one thing I do know about this man is he does not like it when you say you are a fan of his because the word fan is actually a shortened version of the word fanatic.
Yes.
He prefers it when you say you are an admirer of his work or you appreciate his work. So,
yes, we are, of course, talking about Mr. Clive Barker.
Yes, the second greatest import to come out of Liverpool since the Beatles.
I was going to say Joey and the Pacemakers.
Well, all right, then he's number 3 then. But yes, we are talking Clive Barker, a man whose works and influences have definitely had some sort of an effect on me over the years because I'm writing a novel very much inspired by his works. One of the characters in specifically is very much the Hellraiser stereotype, but in a good way. I'm not ripping it off. I'm actually like...
You're creating your own character. Yes,
his character is an homage to what I grew up with, and that's a thing for a future episode, but we'll talk about that at the end.
We will.
It's something that's been itching in my brain for a while, and I need to get this done as an episode. But yeah, we're talking Clive Barker, the man who Stephen King once said, "I have seen the future of horror. His name is Clive Barker."
Yes.
And for the most part, that's very fucking true.
and it's very high praise coming from the master.
Oh yeah, when Stephen King says you're the future of horror, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
mean
are sorted.
that line was so good they used it on the poster for the first two Hellraiser films.
Yeah,
That's how iconic it was. They latched onto that, the marketing department. But like I said, very, very high praise from the man himself and justified praise, in my opinion.
indeed.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about the early life of Mr.
Yes.
Barker?
So yes, as we were saying, he was born in Liverpool in 1952. He's a Libra. So there you go. He was his birthday's a few birthdays after my dad. So there you go. They all dad. Um, but yeah, he was educated at Quarrybank High School. Now, bit of trivia: Quarrybank High School, very important school. So that's where the Quarrymen came from, and the Quarrymen became the Beatles.
Exactly. So he went to the same school as the Beatles.
Yes, he went to the same school as Lennon.
Yes, and that was where he also met a young Mr. Doug Bradley.
Yes, indeed.
And
I was going to say he was also, I found out today, a sex worker. So there you go.
yes,
Let's go.
yes, that is actually, well, tangent this little bit in here now. It's actually that part of his life that inspired a lot of the stuff in the Hellbound Heart, because he was going to a lot of the S&M, the underground S&M clubs, not the ones that were licensed and legal. No. He was going to the ones that if you didn't know where it was, you didn't go. You know, so but yeah, can't continue.
So yeah, so there you go. What's it? He had a theatre group, as you said,
Started it with
with
Doug Bradley, the dog company.
the dog company, indeed. So this bloke has done a hell of a lot. He's directed,
Yeah.
written. He's directed the stage. Yeah.
Oh yes, he's done stage, he's done screen, he's done directing, producing, writing. He's tried his hand at everything. I mean, the main reason why he directed Hellraiser himself was the film Rawhead Rex was one of his earliest adapted works, and he hated it. Absolutely hated it. The monster looked nothing like it was described in his book, because in the original book, it was basically a giant walking monstrous penis. So, I can understand why Hollywood would be like, we can't make that as a monster. But to change it the way they did, it pissed all over what he wanted to do. So when the time came for Hellraiser to get made, he was like to the studio, he was like, yeah. He said to the studio, yeah, we can make this, but I want to direct it. I'm not just writing it, I want to direct. So that's why it's such a fucking good film, because it's
this is the thing. He did such a bloody good job.
Really did. And it was his directorial debut as well, Hellraiser. Sorry, I've got you've passed him on to me, you get. But yeah, for the purposes of this episode, we're going to focus on media and things like that we actually have seen and we do actually know about, because we can't, if we don't know about it, we can't cover it. And we're not just going to read a wiki page to you, because you could do that on your own time.
Yeah, do your own.
So we're going to go with more personal experiences with the works of Clive Barker, whether it's films, video games, action figures, books, or artwork. So I will go first.
Of course you will.
I only have 2 of his books at the moment. I am looking to get hold of some more. I want the Books of Blood, because they're collected short stories, and there's a lot of them. There's like, I think 8 volumes.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few books. But listed here, we have one of his first novels, because we'll get there. Right, we have The Damnation Game, Weave World, Cabal, which later went on to inspire Nightbreed. I should have grabbed that. I forgot I've got that on Blu-ray over there.
Dickhead.
Yes. Nightbreed is actually based on the story Cabal. There's Imagica, the Thief of Always, Sacrament, Galati, Cold Heart Canyon. Now, this one is a bit of a sidestep. You have Tortured Souls and Tortured Souls 2. Now, this was actually a short story design. Well, it was written to back up a line of action figures. I will, through the power of editing, get some pictures of the Tortured Souls action figures and just quickly show them on screen so people know what the hell we're talking about. But they were a line of action figures, and with each figure, you got a chapter of the story within the insert, the paper insert that was in the back of the box. The toy line was by McFarlane Toys. So, you know, Todd McFarlane and Clive Barker, you put the guy, the creator of
Something like that.
Well, yeah, they didn't move very much, but they looked, again, pictures will be shown up. They look amazing. I think somebody, I watched a reviewer once said that they are grotesquely beautiful, which Clive Barker is the master of grotesque beauty.
Well, I've been called the same.
Well, that's true. Me too. But yeah, that was written just to support the toy line. It was released later on down the line, along with another toy line called the Infernal Parade, and that was actually published with the title The Infernal Parade. So that was released all as one thing. Then we have Mr. Begone, Mr. Maximilian and His Traveling Circus, Chiliad, A Meditation, that was in 2014, and I didn't know this, but there's a book called Deep Hill, which is to be announced. So he's still releasing books even now.
Yeah, and Dude 71.
Oh, yeah. We also have the Hellraiser series in novel form, which is The Hellbound Heart and The Scarlet Gospel, which I'm still reading this one, even though it's short. I'm taking my time with it because it's very, very deep. There's a lot going on in that book. And then Books of Arts series. I'm guessing this is his to do with actual real life art stuff. The Great and Secret Show was released in 1989 and Everville in 1994. And then it goes on about the Books of Blood, which we've already said there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
And the Books of Abarat, which is Abarat, Days of Magic, Nights of War, and Absolute Magic. They were released between 2002 and 2011. I have not read any of those, so I'm not going to comment on any of those. I can only go with what I've read and what we've seen. Yeah. So, Guy, have you read any Clive Barker books?
No.
That covers that section nicely then, because like I said, I'm currently reading this one, The Hellbound Heart. It is one of the first ones. This is a matte reprint, but you can see the design for Pinhead here.
Well, exactly.
Very different, slightly different, because everything was kind of, this seems more, but you got a picture of the man himself right there. But yeah, absolutely stunning book. This went on to become Hellraiser.
Yes, it did.
There are lots of differences with characters, like relationships change, but the general feel of it is still there. The scene with Frank, I mean, in the movie, it's like not even 30 seconds. You see him open the box, the hooks come out, they grab him, then he's upside down spinning, and then the room's empty again.
Yeah.
In this, my God, you feel it. You go through what he's going through, and it makes that scene in the original seem more intense. Like, I watched the film after reading sort of half of this, and I was like, creeps me out a hell of a lot more than it used to now, but that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think back then they'd have struggled.
There was a lot the censors wouldn't allow back then. They really.
So, you know, I mean, but what can we say about the film? The film's brilliant.
The film is absolutely phenomenal. What I really want to get into is this, The Scarlet Gospel. Now, this is actually a continuation of the films and the book, sort of. There's elements from this that do come into this. But the thing I love about this as well is it brings in another Clive Barker character from other works of his by the name of Harry Diamant, who is basically a paranormal private eye kind of character.
Right.
And I didn't realize this, but the film Lord of Illusion is a Clive Barker film.
Yeah.
And the character in that, played by Scott Bakula.
Mm.
So if you've never seen Lord of Illusion, there's a reason to watch it. He actually plays the character of Harry Diamant.
Well, there you go.
So that tells you already that the Lord of Illusion films and, well, film, because there's only one of them, and the Hellraiser universe via this book are actually connected.
Mm.
So I love it when a writer secretly does that. They make a connected universe, but don't announce it. They don't make, oh, we're doing this big, like Marvel. But when they just subtly do it and like, oh, yeah, that character from that other franchise that I did, yeah, he's in this one as well. So I really want to get into this one, but I want to finish this first.
Well, there's only one thing I can say about that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Right. On to the films then, guy. Come on, let's hit it with some filmic knowledge.
I haven't really got any for you, apart from they were bloody good. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's true. I mean,
I don't want to go too much into the thing of it with this, because they bring back great memories for me. So I don't want to be sort of going, oh, do I want to be getting a load of, little, hey, this happened. Well, this is a funny thing. And I don't want to do that with these because they were really good. They were one of my first tastes of horror.
To be fair, very much the same here with me. I mean, I remember seeing Nightbreed actually, the edited for theaters and TV version, and I'm so glad that I was able to pick up the director's cut Blu-ray because the studio butchered the fuck out of the original to the point where there's even an introduction on the Blu-ray where Clive Barker himself says that they managed to find all of the original deleted, what they thought was lost footage, managed to find it all. They took 20 minutes out that the studio mandated that they put in and put back in an additional 20 minutes of the previous footage that they wanted to originally use. And the story is so much better for it. So Nightbreed, I didn't, Violet did an episode on Violet's Underworld covering Nightbreed. So cheap, shameless plug here. Go and check that episode out because it is a fucking amazing film. Hellraiser, we've covered Hellraiser already. What can we say about this original trilogy I've got right here? What can we say that hasn't already been said?
It's like the meme, isn't it? The perfect horror film doesn't exist. Oh,
it does. There it is. Because if you go looking,
there it is.
The third one, okay, it's a little bit compared to the first two, but
because I think they're just sort of going, "Hey, look, it's been had here. It's been had here.
We need to make him a slasher villain." It felt like that. But within the context of the story, that the demon side of him and the human side had been split from him, so he was unbound by the rules of hell and he could just go full batshit nastiness. I kind of accept that in that context, but it was still very jarring to see him go from straight-faced, stoic, not saying much, to all of a sudden be Freddy Krueger in a different mask.
Yeah.
It was a bit jarring for me. But, as I said, the trilogy, I love it. Absolutely fucking love it. A secret film of his that not many people know. Well, it's based on a story of his called The Forbidden. And that is Candyman, which we all know my thoughts on Candyman and Tony Todd and how I never thought shows a bit of my creepy side here. I never thought that being seduced to death like the Candyman does would ever be appealing. But Tony Todd, with that voice, the way he says when he first says Helen, Helen. That deep.
Was it stirring? Is it sending things stirring?
Forget Idris Elba. Give me Tony Todd. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, Idris, you were dissed, mate.
I'm sorry. Tony Todd was first and better.
Shots fired.
But yeah, I absolutely love Candyman. We do have a list
Yeah,
of
Candyman's
films.
great.
We do have a list of films here. Rawhead Rex, the previous one that we discussed. All the Hellraisers.
All 9.
Well, it does actually list only the first 3 here. So he did work on Tales of the Dark Side as a writer, the episode The Yattering and Jack. He did
Does not surprise me.
He did a TV movie called Quicksilver Highway, and I think I may have seen that. It's a comedy horror film. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that. Yes, The Forbidden, 1978. That was what went on to become later on became known as Candyman. Why is my focus going all funny all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Okay then, but yeah, so that's Clive Barker's film.
It is
kind of covered, and the one thing I'm going to talk about is the remake of Hellraiser. Now, this divided the fan base.
Is it because of Girl Pinhead?
Well, yes and no. Not only was the fact that they were remaking Hellraiser that irked a lot of people because, oh, it's a timeless classic. Why are you remaking it? Which I kind of agree. It is a timeless classic. You know, I watch it every Christmas. You think I'm joking? I actually do.
Oh, no, I know you're not joking.
I watch it Christmas Eve. But, yeah, so that irked a lot of people straight away. Then it was announced that the lead Cenobite, because in the very first film, that's what Pinhead was known as, lead Cenobite.
Yeah.
Pinhead was a nickname they used on set. Same as the female Cenobite, because the way her throat was split open, her nickname on set was Deep Throat. And that is actual trivia that I do know about on set of being on the set of Hellraiser. So yeah, that irked people that, oh, Pinhead's now a woman. Oh, okay. So you're doing a Ghostbusters on us. Then it was announced that not only would Pinhead be a woman, but Pinhead would be played by trans actress Jamie Clayton. And this pissed off about 90% of America, especially the redneck sections of it. Which, I'm sorry, right? But if your argument of a film is what's between an actor's legs or what isn't between an actor's legs, rather than are they going to do this part justice? Are they good enough to play Pinhead? Right? If that's your concern over the other, if your first concern is not the other one, I think you need to take a look at yourself and realize that I've said this multiple times. We talked about Doctor Who and things like that. It comes down to the actor for the part. I don't give 2 fucks what their gender is, right? Whether it's male, female, black, white, whatever. Don't care. If you can play that part better than anybody else that's auditioned for that part, play that part.
Yeah.
Show us, prove to us you can do it. So I went into it with a very, very open mind. I was like, I'm going to get to a point later on in the episode with this as well. Not too much later because we're getting fucking tired now.
Yeah.
But I went into it with a very open mind because I love Hellraiser that much. I was like, look, I've read some of the comic books, and some of the comic books don't even feature Pinhead. They're called Hellraiser, but Pinhead ain't even in them. So for me, the driving force of Doug Bradley's Pinhead has always been kind of, if it's a film, I'd prefer it to be him. But if it's not, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised about it. Now, it suffers a lot of what a lot of modern films suffer from. expositional dumpage at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
So the first 45 minutes are you are kind of there like, okay, I get what this character's about. I get what that character's about. Can we get to where we want to go to? Like,
Yeah,
can we get to seeing these new Cenobites that you've made such a big thing about? Like, can we get there? But once they do show up,
Oh.
because you have to remember that this is one of those films that they did as much practical effects as they could. All of the Cenobite costumes are practical effects, right? The only thing that they've done digitally is sharpening things up. No pun intended with it being Hellraiser. Literally use the digital effects like old school stuff, the removing of wires that hold up the chains.
Yeah.
Making a wound look a little bit more dramatic than the practical effect would. Like they put the cut appears, but then the blood is digital, which I have my own issues with that, but I get why it's done. You know, if you can combine the two worlds of practical and digital effects like this film did and do it so well, I'm all for it. I will watch it. And the thing that I love about this is after watching it, Clive Barker himself, if this is the stamp of approval you need, Clive Barker himself was so impressed with Jamie Clayton's performance as Pinhead. He is actually going to write more stories based on her take on Pinhead, and hopefully we will get another sequel.
Yeah, that's great.
A follow-up to this. And as I said to you guys before we started, in my opinion, this one is as good as the first one.
That's quite the claim.
In my opinion. I mean, to each their own. I'm just saying from my perspective, comparing it to the original.
I've not seen the remake, so
you've not seen it yet.
No, so I need to lend off you because I wanted to see it and I didn't know where it's fucking. We had a problem with the streaming.
HMV DVD.
Right.
I did try to get a Blu-ray, but it's as far as I'm aware, it's not out on Blu-ray yet because I'm hoping because I've seen on social media and places like that, there's a crap ton of stuff like footage from behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, if you remember when we spoke to the Hellraiser people.
Yes, Catalina and Joe, yes.
Yes, they had issues with the streaming back then because I was wanting to watch it for that episode so we could talk to them.
Yeah, and we didn't get a chance to because it was just not going to happen.
So, yeah.
We could not get it over here.
So if you guys want to come back on.
Yes, I do need to reach out to them. And also, if you are a fan of Hellraiser, they have actually done a short web fan series called Laments. And it's all Hellraiser. It's like story set within the Hellraiser universe. I've watched a couple of episodes. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, so Clive Barker has far-reaching roots. One thing, probably the last thing we're going to touch about because it's not something he's done a lot of. He has actually done a couple of video games, wrote the stories for them. He did one called The Undying, which I do remember, but I can't remember playing it. I think it's one of those games that I saw advertised everywhere, but never actually played. But the second one that he worked on was a game called Jericho on the Xbox 360. And that had the really kind of unique mechanic. Well, it was unique for its time when it came out, was that you played as a character in a special forces unit that was all supernaturally there were supernatural elements within the special, like it was basically weaponized magic.
Right.
These characters were. But your character, the character you're playing as, dies literally like first mission out of the gate. First thing you do on the game, your character dies. But you still play as the character because he becomes a ghost. And he finds out that he can actually body jack into the different members of his team. So and each member of the team's got like different powers and they can do different things. Like one of them's got this pyramid thing on his arm that opens up and like fires wasps out of it. It's really fucking weird.
That's the body jacket thing. That's a rip off of Time Splitters.
No, but this, you actually, it's part of the gameplay mechanic. It's not like you get sent into a body and then you go off and do a mission. It's no, you can actually jump at will. So it becomes very tactical of where's your medic, where's your
Mm.
heavy gunner, where's your sniper. And there is some AI element to it, like you can send them off and give orders, or you can jump from person to person depending on what tactical area you need to be at. And it's a difficult game. It's a very difficult game. But even by today's standards, the graphics are they're Clive Barker is Clive Barkeriest.
Mm.
They're gooey and gory and borderline
Good.
borderline Geiger-esque at times.
Mm.
But that kind of adds into the supernatural element of the game. And I don't know if it's available on like any modern consoles. I don't know if it's available like backwards compatible on something. I don't know. But if you can track, if you've got a console that can play it, it's worth a play.
Mm.
It's a first person shooter. So, if you like your first person shooters, go check it out. But I think that's kind of about it for Clive Barker. I mean, we've covered the films, we've covered the books, well, the books we've read.
The wine's getting low.
Yes. And then I'm getting high.
Ooh.
Not yet. Not yet. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Clive Barker then, really.
We are. I think the thing we can say is obviously if there's not things that you've sampled from his oeuvre,
Oh,
do go and check it.
one last thing, actually, it just sparked up in my brain. We talked about him being an artist. He is a painter.
Mm.
Now, if any one of you out there has watched the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, I just need to double check my reference.
What, the Teenage Witch?
The updated one they did, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the more horror-y one. It's
I've
on Netflix.
never heard of this.
It's on Netflix.
Oh.
Visual arts. There we go. Yeah, it says here, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the Netflix TV series. Around 150 artworks by Barker were used in the set of the Academy of the Unseen Arts. So if you want to see, if you've watched that series, you will have seen his artwork and probably not even known that that's Clive Barker's work. But if you haven't watched it and you're a Clive Barker fan, now you have even more of a reason to go and watch it, because I wanted to watch it for a while. And I just kept, again, it's one of those ones on my watch list. I kept putting it off and off and off and off. And as I'm going through and ticking things off lists now, that is one that I do need to get through and I do need to watch properly. But yeah, so there you go. Clive
Cool.
Barker. Well done.
There you go, folks. Clive Barker. And we're back.
Yes, we are back. This is episode 11. We're going to run up to episode 20, and then it'll be another 2 months break. But we do have some good stuff planned. We're working on the schedule at the moment. And one thing that I do want to talk about, and this is going to be a subject for a future episode, but it's been brewing up in my head for so long. I need to get it laid out properly as to how we're actually going to present and talk about the subject. But
we got to tell me the subject first, dearie.
I know you know this one. We've talked about this one. It's that everything's a remake and originality is just an illusion. Because, and I don't know whether this is me getting older and maybe getting a bit more. I don't know.
We're definitely getting older.
I know I'm getting older. Shut up. But I think I'm becoming a little bit more open-minded, because I posed this to you a while ago, Guy, off camera, so it's not in an episode. That I find it a bit weird that we sit here complaining about all these remakes of all these horror classics and sci-fi classics and everything, and we're bitching like, oh, I can't believe they're remaking this film. But then we sit here and we talk about how things like Scarface is one of our favorite ever gangster films. The Fly is a fantastic sci-fi body horror film. The Thing is a John Carpenter horror masterpiece for its claustrophobia and its special effects. The one thing a lot of people seem to forget, though, is those three films are actually remakes.
Yeah.
And people who say, "Oh, I love the Hammer horror films, but I don't like the Universal monster stuff." Again, they're remakes. So the subject of a future episode is basically going to be that I don't quite know how to word it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's basically my idea is that there is originality, but each generation is going to copy the one that came before it. Because if you go back to the early days of cinema, the Universal monsters in the 30s and the 40s, it was Dracula, all them kind of lot.
Yeah.
Then you jump forward to the 60s and Hammer Horror comes along and they do all the same monsters, but they do it slightly differently. And I'm sat here thinking, well, I'm complaining about remakes in my generation. So I'm sure my grandparents who watched the Universal monster movies were saying to my parents when they were watching the Hammer stuff, going, "Oh God, this came out 30 years ago. They're just doing the same shit over again." Like we keep saying.
Yeah. The problem is our originals for us are the definitive art.
Yeah. But
For each generation, they
the
are the
generation
definitive
that's following on after
art.
us,
Yeah.
the remake that we think is shit is going to be their definitive version of it. And I know I slagged the fuck off of Transformers 1, but with my new mindset, I've kind of gone, you know what? I remember being 6 years old when I was introduced to Transformers via the movie, right? That was my first exposure. It came out in 1986. I was 2 in 1986, right? So it was recorded on a video. I watched it when I was maybe 6 years old, right? And there's probably some 6-year-old out there right now with his parents who knows Transformers, like the toys, but he doesn't know they don't know that. Well, I say little boy, little girl, could be either gender. You know, there's a small human out there, right?
Let's not bog to guess. Let's not do that.
Anyway, but there's a small human out there right now who knows of Transformers. They know that they exist through the toys and whatnot, but they don't know the lore. They don't know the backstory. They don't know the history, the 40-year history. Bear in mind, 40-year history of Transformers at this point. So their first real exposure to their toys having a voice and doing things on screen is going to be Transformers 1. And 20 years from now, that kid is going to turn around to their kids and be like, "Oh, I remember watching that when I was growing up. It was the best Transformers thing I'd ever seen." Like we say about the original movie.
Yeah.
So in order for franchises to carry the fuck on, we need these reboots. We need these remakes to a certain extent because it brings in the new generation. And I've seen it said several times on online comments that just because they've remade something like The Crow doesn't mean the original ceases to exist. As much as I'm not looking forward to the remake of The Crow and I'm pretty much trying to avoid it, I can still go, there's probably some little goth kid out there who's just trying to find their way in the world. They're going to watch this version of The Crow and they're going to love it. I'm just saying, we need to stop being so, they shouldn't remake it. It's like, they're remaking it. It's not for me, but it's for the next generation. So let them fucking have it.
Well, there you go.
I mean, a bit more open. Yeah, but so that is going to be a future episode because we are going to go more in depth and look at more.
Just done it.
I know, but we're going to go deeper with that and do proper like examples of like cinema.
Oh, you're going to show your workings.
What?
You're going to show your workings.
Yeah.
Are you working out?
Yeah, I'm going to show my working out on a separate piece of paper. But no, I just think it would be a nice, good, deep episode because we can pick up a few films like the OG Dracula with Bela Lugosi and Karloff as Frankenstein and be like, well, that happened in the 40s. 20 years later, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing did the same thing. And did they get flack for basically starring in the same, starring in a remake? No, they were heralded for it.
There'll never be another Christopher Lee though, because he's heralded. He's the fucking
one final thing. I'm gonna see it go online and see if I can find some pictures of this because I do need to send you these guys. The company NECA, guys who make all my lovely Predators up here and my lovely Elvira figure. They've recently announced 2 figures that I absolutely want. The first one is Christopher Lee as Dracula.
Nice.
The second one is Vincent fucking Price.
Big.
And he actually comes with an arm attachment
Mm.
where you can swap out an arm that's got peg holes on it, and he comes with a raven.
Oh man.
Plug onto his arm. He comes with a little kitty cat that can curl up next to his feet. He even comes with a swappable neckerchief. You can swap it out for different coloured neckerchiefs.
Oh, so
And
metal.
some of the promo shots, they've got him sitting in this big ornate chair, and he's got the cat round at his feet, and he's holding a skull. And as soon as I seen the figure, I was like, I want it. It's Vincent Price for me. And again, this is why I want to do this episode, so we can talk about these older things, because it's not something we'd normally cover. We might do Hammer Horror at some point. But for me, Vincent Price is just that voice.
Yeah.
And rumor has it they are going to do Peter Cushing as Van Helsing to go with the Christopher Lee Dracula. And now, if they do that, I'm sorry, but they need to redo it as a box set in black and white with all three of them. Because that to me would be, you know, the three godfathers of horror from the 1960s and 70s. You know, but yeah. So that's it for tonight's episode. Good night.
There you go. Right, so
we're all done.
We will sign off, folks. We have been Miss Cali Valentine. I've been a random man without a plan, because I'm never around. We will see you again next week.
We will. Good night, everyone. Cheers.
And remember, as you travel down life's highway, don't forget your sat nav. See ya.
Or a clean pair of socks.
Always that.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Bye.
See ya.